he didn't really cover it. All right, good. Thanks, Ron. It didn't really go through the print stuff as much. So managing print jobs is valuable to know how to do. I know here at home I had my printer would not connect to my new router, so I finally had to plug up to it and get it connected, and then a whole bunch of stuff started printing that everybody printed while it hadn't been connected. So I had to go in and clear the print queue. If you don't know how to do that, then by the time you get done looking it up, you got hundreds of pages printed that you didn't really want in the first place. A lot of that is learning to manage print systems through the network. And they went to configuring printers, using cups. And they had another configuring printers using cups. So if you haven't already, these are excellent exercises to look through just because of what's in them. And then we looked at the Debian package manager. There's a Red Hat package manager as well, and they cover that in lesson 1. Okay, so I'm going to move on to lesson 2, which is setting up user groups, creating user accounts. We'll create a group, and then look at, don't look at the journal. All of this is, I would look over these definitely. Managing log files and journal databases. I don't remember it being covered in Mind Tap activity. Oh, it wasn't. Okay, never mind then. So in this lab, we're looking at managing user and group accounts and system files. Okay, so let me open my instructions. All right. And I'm scrolling down to where I see exercise 1. This is the overall exercise, and after doing it, we'll know how to add, modify, remove users and groups, access user group password information, create and manage special purpose and limited accounts. In this lab, we want to use PLAB Linux 01. So I'm going to go power it on. Click here on the name and scroll up just a hair and make sure that's the computer that I'm on. Now I'll wait for it to boot up. And for some reason, this one never asked me to log on, which is okay. I just skipped step 1 and step 2 and on to task 2. When creating users in Linux, root is typically the first user, then you can create more users as required. Another entity or multiple user OS is groups. Groups comprise of multiple users. Groups are created to ease out the management of multiple users of similar privileges. All the users in a group can be granted permissions by assigning the same to the group. This saves the tedious task of assigning permissions to individual users, and if you've ever had to do that, you know it is a tedious task. So now we're on to step 1, and we'll right-click, open terminal. And we want to switch users to the root, so SU dash, and they're asking for the password, so it's uppercase PASSW0RD, and no, it does not echo. You just type it in and hit enter. And they want me to clear the screen. And then add a user using the user add command. And the user's name is John. When you create a user, it comes up in a locked state. It'll be unlocked once we set a password. So we'll set the password using PASSWD, John, and then it asks me for the password. Guess what the password is? Uppercase P, ASSW0RD, and again, no, it doesn't echo. And even though it gives you bad password, type it again, PASSW0RD, because that is a really bad password. And then it should tell me all authentication tokens updated successfully. And we'll slow down for just a second. Next, if we want to know how to modify the user account for John and set an expiration date for that account, we can modify the account. Okay, 1 second. Where's it saying command not found?
I'm sorry, I have to So, I entered the password twice, and it still says command not found.
Command not found. All right. Look to where you typed in PASSWD, John. Was that typed in correctly?
PASSWD, John, yes.
Okay. And in front of that, it's listed as root, PLAB Linux 01.
It just says administrator.
Okay.
Linux.
You are not in the right place, so you want to do that SU space dash.
Okay.
So let's go back.
Okay, and it was asking me for a password, and that's when are we going back to the beginning?
Yep, because if you're still in as administrator, you have to be in the root and not in as administrator. So that's why you're getting command not found.
Sorry. Oh.
So did that password work and bring you to root?
Yeah, it did bring me to root, and then now it's saying clear.
Okay.
Supposed to clear it, right? Okay. All right. Yes.
All right. And then we're on to user add John.
Okay.
Thanks for hollering and letting me know. Just slow down for a second.
Yeah, I'm all set. Mine worked.
Awesome. No, you're okay.
No, we're a team here.
Password for John. Password for, at least try word for John.
Okay. Okay, it says it updated successfully.
Okay. All right. So we are here on step 6. Okay, so we're setting an expiration for John's account, and we want it to expire on 12/12/2020. So we do a user mod -E, that's the expire part, and then we put in the date, 12/12/2020, for account John. So now that account would expire on December 12th, 2020. We can also lock an account. Doing a user mod -L and then the name of the user account. Disgruntled employees, you never know. Right, we can force the password to expire immediately by using the CHH or change H -D and the number 0. The 0 sets it to expire now, and you give it the name of the account. So now John will have to change his password immediately.
Yeah, could we put like a date there if we wanted to change it a different date? Can we do that there too? Or instead of just saying immediately, can we say, okay, like, say a week from now?
That would be, hang on, let me see if it'll let me do it.
Okay.
So that would be, well, that's expiration. You want it to reset the pattern. Min days, max days. Let me scroll over so we can read the rest of that. Sorry. Expire date, but we don't want it to expire. We want the password to be inactive. And then they would have to reset the password. But then you have, I think min days and max days was usually how we do that. So if it's been 60 days. And that question mark is my favorite thing. I love that online tool. It didn't work with the CHH, but then I was like, well, let me try it with the argument for it, and sure enough, that worked. Eventually, I'm going to get to help on the command. Good question. So I guess to answer your question, I can set it to expire every certain number of days, but on a certain date, I can make it expire.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
But that sets the account to expire, not the password.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So it's
See the difference?
Yeah, it's big time. Yeah, I see now. Oh, okay. I get it now.
All right, the last thing they want us to do in this section is delete this user. So clear the screen. User DEL and the name of the person or account I want to delete is John. All right, next we're going to set up a group, but before we can set up a group, we have to have 2 users, and we just deleted John, so we'll need to user add John back in, and yeah, I know he already exists. And I want a user add, and they gave me the name Rebecca. So now I have 2 users, John and Rebecca. I want to set the passwords to unlock those 2 accounts. So I'll use password, passwd and John. And guess what the password is? I know it's a bad password, but that's what they told me to use. As long as it comes up and says updated successfully, then I'll go back and do Rebecca. And again, with the password that is a bad password, of course it is. Nobody would use password as their password. At least I hope not. And I'll pause there for a second because I know that can take a minute. Now we're on to step 11. But I'll clear the screen first and then do the group add -G, and the number is 10,000. That's the group number, and the group name is PLAB user. And we add users to the group. We use the user mod command with the switch A capital G. -A capital G PLAB user. So add to that group the user John. And then instead of typing it again, I hit the up arrow, and then I can backspace over John and put in Rebecca. Okay, so now John and Rebecca are added to my PLAB user group. And we got groups added and users into the group. Or do I need to wait a minute? Sounded like somebody unmuted, but I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I'm all set.
All right. All right, we'll go ahead and continue. And first I'll clear the screen. And ID John gives me information about John and the group he's in, PLAB user 10,000. I'll do the same thing with Rebecca. ID Rebecca. And you can see she is also a member of group number 10,000, name PLAB user. Okay, let's say we don't like the name PLAB user. We can modify the name with the group mod command -n for name. PLAB is the new name of PLAB user. All right, we're on to step 15, and now we're going to delete that group with the group del command, PLAB, because we just changed the name from PLAB user to PLAB, so now we're deleting PLAB. Now we'll do ID John and see that he is not part of the PLAB group because the PLAB is no longer a group. Same thing for Rebecca. She's no longer part of PLAB because PLAB is no longer a group. All right, we're on to task 3, access user group password information. In a multi-user environment, it's important to encrypt passwords to protect them from unauthorized access by other users on the system or outside users of the system. The passwords are moved from the etc password to the etc shadow file. The etc shadow file is readable only by the root user. Shadow passwords are enabled by default by the shadow utils package. In this task, we'll access various password files on the system to view the passwords of the individual users as well as groups. All right, so in step 1, we're going to do a clear. And we want to view or cat space /etc/PASSWD. Stop. I was trying to get here so we could see where this actually started. Cat ECT ETC password. And then it starts listing the file and the file contents. You can even see here at the bottom, Rebecca and John. Okay, clear your screen. And we want to view the ETC shadow file. So we'll cat /ETC/shadow. And over here, the encrypted passwords. So somewhere in there it says password with an O for the 0 for the O. We can also view the passwords for various groups. So let's clear the screen and then cat /ETC/group. And there's the passwords for various groups. Oops. Now see, I don't know why they had me delete my group, because then I could have looked here in the password file to see the password I'd set for my group. Create and manage special purpose and limited accounts. ETC scale file allows an administrator to create a default home directory for all users on a computer. This ensures that the new users begin with the same settings in the environment they log into. All right, so we're going to clear the screen. And then we're going to view the scale directory with ls-a /etc/scale. And that shows us the contents of what's in that folder. We can also disable logins into the system by creating the etc no login file. By default, this file does not exist. If you create this file, though, only the root user will be able to log on to the system. Login access to the remaining users will be disabled. To create a no login file, type the following: touch //etc/login. And that file is created with nothing inside of it. So we can cat, cat the space /etc/no login, and you'll see there's nothing in it. I spelled something because it shouldn't have said no such file. Oh, that's why, because when I did my touch, I said login, not no login. Okay, so touch /etc/no login, and then I cat that file. And it's empty. Okay, there we go. Not that it doesn't exist, it should be empty. And the special purpose accounts are listed in the /etc password file. So we want to view that file with cat. Let's clear the screen. Cat /etc/passwd. And you can see no login. And we have now completed lesson 2 for module 4.